Welcome back, Global War 1939. This is Allies turn to review. So let's start with the Russians. They actually rolled an 18, so their income jumped up quite a bit. It doubled. They were at 17, now they're at 35. They rolled it. So the average die roll is like a 13, so anything above a 13, expect you did really well. Below a 13, obviously the not so good. But he rolled 18. That's fantastic. Both U.S. and Russia are rolling extremely well this game. Has me a little concerned. We're going to have to make some moves before they get too strong. So on his purchase, he got a heavy tank, 2 elite guards, and a bunch of infantry, and he scattered them around his various factories. So the elite guard and the heavy artillery end up in Leningrad, and the infantry over in Novosibirsk. For his actual moves, he just did one battle. It's part of the Winter War, so Russia and Finland are allowed to fight each other, even though, and it won't start a war with the Germans. So anything C-Zone 1920 and all of Finland is fair game to be attacked pre-war. So he took out the Finnish destroyer, not a big deal. And then in his non-combat moves, he backed out the bulk of his army, which is in Baltic states and East Poland, leaving infantry behind in each. Backed it out one space. So this is like a good chunk of his offensive power. He has basically most of his light tanks, his cavalry, a bunch of mechs. No real infantry, but... And then in Olar Kursk, he's got some elite guards, heavy artillery ready to jump in and bulk up that army quite a bit. Up in Leningrad, he has a heavy tank, all of his air force except for one light bomber, and more elite guards, a couple of infantry. So they're ready to jump into Finland, basically whenever they choose. Down in Caucasus, he didn't actually move this force, but is in a good position to go either way. So you can bring it down to the Middle East to help fortify the British, or move it up into help defend Stalingrad, eastern Ukraine, if the Germans press early or not. So it's in a good middle ground there, but it is quite a bit of his offensive punch there as well. Over in the east of Russia, and then he... exactly to what we thought would happen. He moved his tanks over 2 more spaces. Got a fair amount of infantry in Omor, so I can definitely expect an assault into northern Manchuria, probably next turn, if I was to guess. Novosibirsk, he has his train, 3 more infantry, you can get them over. Got 2 more mechs to help tow the artillery. So definitely a fight between Russia and the Japanese are going to come up soon. Now, if Russia attacks, what that does is the Mongolia rule is off the table for the rest of the game, so they'll just stay neutral. If the Japanese attack Russia before they're at war, Mongolia will join the Soviet Union. But if they attack us, then no, that won't happen. And Japan will get 3 additional infantry will pop up for free in Tokyo. So we can expect that to happen, I would guess, next turn. For the British, well, their purchases actually bought quite a bit. The Commonwealth is actually pretty expensive right now. Total between all 5 countries, they're sitting at 126 a turn, because they're getting the and FEC and Anzac are not even getting their bonuses yet, so that income will jump up again pretty quickly. United Kingdom got a fort, a destroyer, a mech, commando, and the rest of his money went into infantry, which is 9, and they all got placed in London. So right now he's sitting at 19 infantry, all of his fighters, commando, all in London. That's and with a fort, like, it's just London is really well defended. Canada got destroyer infantry. South Africa got their standard medium tank. Anzac purchased a fighter and a commando. And FEC just got a mixed bag of transport, tactical infantry, and a mech. He needed that transport to get back up to the 8, because we did kill 1 last turn, which is good. Movement wise, there's not really a lot going on here. he just placed down 2 destroyers, one from Britain, one from Canada in Sea Zone 21. A little bit of movement here with this fleet. So the 2 destroyers that was down in 53 moved up to 31. The sub came to 33. In Africa, just moved around some more infantry in the non-combat phase. In the attack phase, he did make 3 attacks. He did a bombardment raid against the Italian factory, putting 3 damage, so obviously we're going to have to repair that. He recaptured Alexandria and Lower Egypt. And then he also activated all of Iran. So now with these 4 territories, that gives him another $5 bonus. So Britain itself is actually really rich. They're 57 a turn. That's not good for us. And then FEC, again, it's pre-war for them, so they just made some bulked up Bangladesh, added more units, and they went ahead and activated Java, and then Anzac activated Celebs. So in Java, he's got 3 infantry. Sumatra, he has 4, 2 infantry and Celebs. So now the Commonwealth owns all the money islands. Again, not good for us. We're going to have to do something about that really quick. And then over here in Australia, he just put down his fighter and his commando unit. So even Australia's got a decent sized army. Basically, all they really need now is transports to start moving all these guys around. Because it's fine to have a big army defending a capital, but if they're not engaged in conquering new territory, holding your enemy, trying to pin them down, stalemate them in places, or actually fighting them, they're kind of useless. So definitely quite a force here. Just need some transports. And China was very aggressive this turn. They took back Hunan, which we knew would happen. He attacked Shantung, taking out one of our cavalry infantry, so that's another territory down. And then he came into French Indochina, which China's allowed to go into all these territories. So it's... China's actually really aggressive this particular turn or game. On his purchase, he got 3 infantry and 2 artillery, and they're sitting at $20. Like, Japan making $20 a turn is outrageous. We cannot have this happening. Communist China, they didn't do anything, just placed down their 1 infantry that they purchased, and they collected $3 more. Without that artillery that they lost on the last Japanese turn, it's hard for Communist China to actually be effective. They're just essentially holding territory and denying Japanese extra income. They're a defensive army right now. But taking out Lower Egypt did give us a small distraction, because otherwise they would have came into Ethiopia, but they used those forces to recapture Lower Egypt, but they bulked up Uganda, so we can definitely see an attack in Italian Somaliland next turn. So this will be our last turn of collecting this income. All right, so that is... Oh, and the Americans purchased... What did they buy? 2 Marines, 4 infantry, and they rolled 23. Like, that's... The max you can get is 24. So right now, the Americans are sitting at 40 on their income track. So they're halfway to joining. They just need 40 more. And if we attack FEC, attack Russia, both of that combined will give them a plus 30 on their income. So they just need to roll a 10 and wait for Russia to get attacked, wait for FEC to get attacked, and they're in the game. So I can definitely see America joining a lot sooner than most games. So, which is, again, not good for us. Good for my opponent. That's a key goal, to get the U.S. involved as fast as you can. And he's rolling 23s. It'll get you there really quick. And he put down all of his units, all 6 units over here. So he put 3 in Washington, 3 in New England. He brought down a transport in his non-combat phase and got transport with 2 more Marines in Panama. So I would suspect they'll probably head up to the east coast of mainland U.S. next turn. Over here, he moved his fleet over to Midway from San Francisco. This is not good. This is very much a provocation. This is a justification for us to actually move against the Americans. We'll just see if we're in the position to actually do that. We weren't planning on anything with the Americans, but moving their fleet this close to our home island, even though that they don't have any transports, so they can't land, but they're threatening our waters. So we're going to have to do something about that fleet there. And what we're going to do, I don't know yet. All right, so that is it for the Allies overall review. Definitely some areas of the map got very aggressive, taking a lot of territory and a lot of money away from us. And he's positioning a good chunk of his force into position so he can continue on and try to weaken us even more. Yeah, so, and the fleet that was in 45 joined up with the main fleet in 47, which we figured would happen. And he's bringing up another transport from the Indian Ocean, is now sitting in Sea Zone 66. So I would suspect that'll be in the Mediterranean next turn as well. That'll give him 2 transports. So we'll see what he does with all that. All right, so that is it for the Allies. Moving on to the Italians and then start round 3. All right, well, thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day.